If you're watching this video, you're probably one of the 33 million people in the United States who manage their own stock portfolio at some level. There are actually 246 million adults in the United States, and 150 million of them invest in the stock market in some capacity. Some use a financial advisor, some just have it in their company's 401k and really don't pay any attention to it. But 33 million of you manage your own money, and that's who I want to speak to, and basically give you some understanding of what's involved and what does it cost to take advice or to receive advice. If you're using a financial planner, they are pretty much today on a fee for services basis, and they base that on the amount of money that you have under management, and that ranges from 0.5% to 1.5%. So if you have $500,000 and they're charging you 0.5%, you're paying $25,000 a year to get financial advice. Is that good, bad, or indifferent? Well, it depends on how much you want them to do for you. If they're helping you with college planning, if they're helping you with your retirement planning, your insurance planning, your estate planning, well, then you're getting some services. On the other hand, you could do some of that with some basic research, understanding, asking Google, how much life insurance do I need under these circumstances that I currently live under? And you could probably come up with a replacement for their insurance services. And then you could ask Google, what are the college programs that are available for my college plan? So you see that with the internet, we can replace them. So again, I'm speaking to the 33 million of you who are managing your own portfolio. And a lot of you are retired or approaching retirement, and some of your insurance situations are already taken care of. So what does it cost to manage your own portfolio? Well, there is no cost for a brokerage account. You can trade now over the last several years at 0% trading costs. So there's no brokerage cost. You just need to find a brokerage account that you're comfortable with and it works for your advantage. Then there is the cost of subscribing to services that can help you. And what I do is I subscribe to Seeking Alpha. That costs me $240 a year. I do some technical analysis, so I subscribe to Trading Views. That costs me $720 a year. I subscribe to Zacks. They give me some good information on what analysts are projecting the price of stocks to be in the future. That costs me $240. I use Wise Sheets, and then that gives me a real good access to all the financials of all 650,000 stocks, no, 6,500 stocks that are available to me. And then I spend about 4 hours a day on it. So with that considered, I figure my time is worth about $50 an hour. So I've got somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000 a year that I spend, if I account for my time, to manage my portfolio. So that's gives you some guidelines. You could spend, again, $50,000 managing it on your own if you're paying for your time, or you could pay a financial advisor for something in the neighborhood of, if $500,000, $25,000. Now, what is the difference of your performance? Well, my read on it, having been a financial advisor, is that the financial advisor's main objective is to make sure you don't lose money. Okay, so he's going to give you a well-diversified portfolio, and if he's good, you'll probably get the performance of the S&P 500, which is averaged somewhere over the years of about 11% per year, up and down. That's what you should expect from your financial advisor, because he can't really take the risk that I might take managing my own portfolio. So then you have to decide, do I want to go with somebody that offers a service that provides some level of clarity of how they manage their portfolio, how they've performed in the past, how they project they're going to perform in the future, and then say, is that worth what they're charging? And that's what I want to go into from here. So let's assume that the first question we've decided I don't want to use a financial advisor. I want to manage my portfolio myself, and I want to seek some help from someone who can maybe give me some advice. So what I want to do is share with you how Best of Us Investors approaches it and what we charge for our services, what our past history has been, where we are today, and what are we adding to our program to help us be better in the future. Okay, so basically, we charge $60 a month, and we offer you two platforms within that $60. One is my program, which I call the bus portfolios. And what I've done is said, I want to specialize in change. And that is right now the advent of artificial intelligence and the eventual addition to general machine learning. And how is that going to change the investment situation that I can take advantage of it? Now, I am not satisfied with the S&P 500 of 15%. I want to achieve at least a 33% on every stock that I buy. So I have devised a system under which I analyze only about 39 stocks that I look at on the basis of their past history. And what I'm looking for is what is their earnings per share over the past 10, 15 years, and what is the relationship to their earnings per share to their PE ratio. And is that PE ratio in line with their industry? And what do I feel it should be relative to the earnings per share that they're projecting over the next 3 to 5 years? And so I have an algorithm then that I use on those 39 stocks that basically says if their earnings are going to increase, and I look for usually somewhere in the neighborhood of 20% or more per year. If they increase at this historical PE ratio, what is their price going to be over the next 3 years? So I have my 39 stocks. I know what I believe their average rate of return is going to be over the next 2.5 years. I will not own more than 5% of my own overall holdings in those stocks. And then I allocate them based on how much of the 3%, 2%, 5%, whatever, how much do I want in each one of them based on their average annual projected rate of return. So then what I have to do is over the next 2.5 years, monitor them on a daily basis to see if something has changed, either good, bad, or indifferent, that would affect that projected earnings in the future. Okay, so that's the method I use. So how has it worked in the past? Well, if you've been involved with me since 2019, you know I got very excited about genome sequencing, genome editing, and I made a mistake, and I'll be the first to admit it. I didn't realize that there was a roadblock for genome sequencing and genome editing, and it's called the FDA. That is to say, the Federal Food and Drug Administration is not going to allow you to put a needle in your arm to take cancer out of your body, which they supposedly some company has proven works, and not know if your head is going to explode in 5 years. They won't allow it to happen. So I lost a lot of money in betting on genome sequencing and genome editing. As I recognized my mistake, I then said, okay, what is the next big change that potentially could change our world and our economy? And that is artificial intelligence. What supports artificial intelligence? Data. How do you access the data? Semiconductors. Who has the best semiconductors to access data? NVIDIA, Jensen Huang. So About a year and a half ago, I said to my subscribers, you need to invest in NVIDIA. They are going to be the leaders in the change of this. And they are going to put those GPUs in data centers. And the guy who's going to assemble the box to put them into the data centers is a guy by the name of Charles. Now, Charles is the CEO of Supermacro Computers. So I said, put your money in Supermacro. And we went forward. I then recognized that there was a problem in the data centers. Two problems, actually. One, there weren't enough data centers for the demand that was going to come. And I found a small company up in North Dakota that had two small data centers, and they were out raising money. And one of the places they raised money was from NVIDIA. So we put some money into Applied Digital. We're up about 25-30% on that. So you see the drift I'm going. I also recognize that they're going to have a problem because these new semiconductors that use GPUs put out so much more heat that they were going to need air conditioning. So I found a company by the name of Modine, and they make air conditioning basically for businesses, hospitals, things of that nature, and they created a division that would make them for data centers. And so I suggested we need to buy some Modine. And then I realized, hey, they're also going to have to remodel these data centers. So we went into FIX, and it's grown substantially. Now what we're looking for is companies that are going to alter the disks that are the wafers that the semiconductors are built on, so to displace that heat even more. We also have recognized that in artificial intelligence, it's moving not so much from typing, but from speaking and repeating. And we got into a small company by the name of SoundHound. So what I'm doing is spending my time trying to figure out where is this going, who are going to be the main players, and then I share that with my subscribers to our bus portfolios to give them insights as to what I'm finding and what I'm discovering on a daily basis. As I said, I subscribe to a number of services so that I get the information, something in the neighborhood of 150 emails a day, telling me what different companies are doing and what other authors are writing about it. So that's the information I digest, and then I regurgitate onto my cheat sheet so that my subscribers of part of the 33 million people who are managing their own portfolio don't have to spend $25,000 at a financial advisor or allocate 40 hours a week to doing what I do, but for $60 they can benefit from what I'm doing. So then what you have to do is gain some trust in that I know what I'm doing. Okay, so how do I address that? Well, I basically say, come to Best of Us Investors, see what I'm doing for 14 days for free, and if you see that it is beneficial for you, and it's the way you should go, as opposed to a financial advisor, or as opposed to subscribing to these services on your own and doing the work on your own, you make your decision. Now, the other area that we offer you within the Best of Us Investors is that of swing trading. And the benefit of that is it's addressing the current and weekly movements of stocks based on charting, based on momentum, based on money flow, and things of this nature. And that's run by Mark Willett. He is a experienced investor for over many years, and he has built an algorithm which basically helps him identify stocks that have moved into a position where they are going to have a short-term gain. So he's in and out, and that's swing trading. So those are the two services. Mine, which is more of a long-term, 3 years investment plan based on the change that we are experiencing in our society, basically artificial intelligence, and then the swing trading element. Now, what do we look for in the future? Well, I have recognized that if I can do this on 39 stocks, I can do it on all 6,500. But I need some help to do that. So I have two choices. Up until a month ago, my choice was to hire people. And then, in essence, what I would be doing would be duplicating what Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan does. They hire analysts to focus on an area of stock, and they basically do what I'm doing. But I learned from Michael Dell and Jensen Huang that they are creating something called an AI factory that I can buy, and it will perform the work of the 15 other analysts that I might have to hire, 200 more. I can have a computer sitting right over there that can do the work that I'm doing for 6,500 stocks. Okay? They can go through all the emails, all the articles that are written on a daily basis, informing us on what is happening on a stock, all the press releases that the companies put out, all the earnings calls that I have been sitting on for 39 stocks. They can do it for 6,500. That machine, that AI factory. Now, if that can be done, I can take this to a whole new level. I can take advantage of Jensen Huang's GPUs. I can take advantage of all the data that Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft, and Y sheets, all the financials of all the companies. All this data is there. I just need a computer that has the ability to access it, analyze it, and then regurgitate it in a format that helps you and I make better investment decisions. So we, 33 million people here in the United States, and I don't know how many of there you are in the rest of the world, how can we make better investment decisions, taking advantage of the best knowledge that's available to the world? And there will be a few of us who will figure it out, go and spend whatever Dell wants and whatever NVIDIA wants for their machine that can change the world of investing. So I'm speaking to 33 million of you, probably not all at once. But if you know anybody like you, make sure they see this video. It's going to be available here on YouTube, and it's going to be available on our website. So come to Best of Us Investors, watch the video again. I'll break it down in simple questions because what I really want to do is take advantage of what the biggest gift that the internet has given us. You have a question, I have an answer, or someone has an answer. Maybe it's my AI factory, and you can now access or will be able to access my AI factory to help you make better investment decisions. That's what Best of Us as Investors is all about today. But more importantly, that's what Best of Us Investors is going to be about tomorrow. Let's talk about this more as it develops further.